All right. House over Baz. I'm Jacob Casas.
I'm Rico Savage.
I'm Eddie Millis.
And we have a very special guest today. We have Zara from Egypt. I'm going to let her introduce herself to our audience, a little bit about who she is and what she does.
Hey everybody, my name is Zara. I'm also known as Zara Dance or Zara of Egypt. I am an Egyptian belly dancer. I'm half English, half Egyptian. I live and work in Cairo, where I work in cabarets, discos, clubs, but also I travel the world to teach belly dance and share my culture, share my dance. And I'm currently in California because I'm working at one of the biggest belly dance festivals in America, which is Cairo Shimmy Quake. And I'm here to teach some workshops and perform in a big, massive festival. And I'm also here to see you.
Well, you sound very proper. I love it.
It's because I'm English. Actually, to other English people, I sound like a common schmuck.
I feel like
but to you guys, you think this is a posh accent.
How do we sound? How do we sound? Like
you sound funny.
You sound like you just sound stereotypically American.
Oh.
Like, you know.
Wait a minute. What's stereotypical American?
Like the Hollywood, like
Somebody that's just annoying on holiday and the tourists, like, oh, they're American tourists. Don't let them know you're
Damn.
English. No,
I feel like you could tell me off and I wouldn't get upset. I would just think you're being
I
nice.
couldn't take you serious. If you're a man, I couldn't take you serious. Like,
But you think I'm really intelligent and proper.
Right.
Yes.
But in England, I'm dissed because I come from working class. Actually, I had my accent when I went to university, and I was quite posh. I went to posh university, and they used to take the piss out of my accent because of how bad I spoke and how gangster I sounded.
Oh, gangster.
Yeah, because I come from East End London. I say things like in it and tomato.
In
I
it.
don't pronounce my T's, tomato and proper instead of
damn,
proper.
that's
so the guy from Snowfall, I think he's from England.
Yeah.
And he said in order to get his accent, like an LA accent, he hung out with a rapper for about 6 to 8 months. And that's how he got his American gangster accent.
Well, I think by the end of this interview, maybe I'll be talking like you guys.
You'd be like, da 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 da.
We're gonna have to give her a few lines.
A few lines. I don't know. No, I can't do accents. We'll see by the end. I'm a chameleon. I like
Chameleon,
Yeah,
yeah.
I just absorb people's accents. So, by the end, I'll probably be sounding less British, more American.
Well, it's good to have you here. We appreciate you coming.
Shukran.
Shout out to Diamond Studios and Shadi, bringing her in. Yeah, we loving it. So how did you get into belly dancing?
Well, I'm half Egyptian, but I didn't dance a lot as a child. I went back and forth when I was a child between, being mixed race is really difficult because, you're
I
like,
understand that.
if you're mixed race,
I'm so mixed and I wasn't Mexican enough and white enough for both sides.
it's
I
hard
get
to
it.
know your identity. I used to go back and forth between England and Egypt my whole childhood, very connected to both. I used to be flown out, and when I was 6 years old, I got thrown out to Egypt by myself to live with my auntie and uncles. I'd come back, but I wasn't into belly dance, but I feel like I absorbed it. But anyway, my mum and dad got divorced when I was like 10 years old, so I went for a long period when they're getting divorced, not going to Egypt. From my childhood being back and forth, living there for a couple of years. Then I had like a 5-year gap. I went back and I'm like an Egyptian woman. I'm 15 years old and I'm there, and it's already bad enough because you're like the foreign cousin, you're the white cousin, you're the cousin that doesn't speak Arabic 100%.
You're the white sheep.
Yeah, exactly. And then can't dance. I remember being with all my cousins laughing at me, and I came back to England, ironically, England. I was like, Mum, she's the English one. I'm like, Mum, they take the piss out of me because I can't belly dance. And from then on, she like found at some art fair some VCR on how to belly dance. And I taught myself using VCRs. But I think it was all subconsciously in there because I do believe belly dance, Egyptian belly dance is within my blood, but I hadn't accessed it. I hadn't channeled into it, and I channeled into it, and it was a massive growth for me because it channeled into my femininity, what it was to be a woman, what it was to be a mixed race woman, what it was to be my culture, what it was to be Egyptian. So it really opened a lot of doors to me and made my find my identity. And belly dance has been there throughout my life, and I'm very lucky, blessed.
Is there a difference between Egyptian belly dancing and other belly dancing, and if so, how?
Okay, so belly dance is a technical term that is a general umbrella term that people have lots of different visions and things. And I use that word just for communication reasons. In Egypt, we don't call it belly dance. We call it rats, which is just dance. It's just dance. They don't even say it's specific.
How do you
type of
say it?
dance.
Say it again.
Rats.
Raks.
Raqs or raqs. You can say it with a K, but raqs. Our
So good
raqs
at this.
shar'i is like oriental dance. Raqs baladi is like more balladic dance. Raqs shabi is what I'm really good at. I'm very famous for, which is working class Egyptian dance. So I do a bit like street mahargana and shabi, which is street belly dance, because my family are working class Egyptians. So I'm really good at this shabi, raqs shabi. But so in Egypt is very, and Egypt, I don't mean to be biased, but some belly dancers might be getting angry, but I think that's the core of the real roots and the real core and the real traditional source of belly dancers we know. There are lots of belly dance, under belly dance terms, you can have things like what we call like fusion or tribal dancers, or like American cabaret, which was invented in America, but it's done kind of like to this Middle Eastern fantasy. Also, we've had lots of people colonizing, coming through Egypt throughout the years, also through the Middle East, Turkey, taking back this fantasy of what they saw belly dancers doing in the countries of origin, like Egypt, Turkey, Libya, Lebanon, all these countries, taking it back. And this almost, or it's called like an Orientalism, this kind of fantasy belly dance that's come out, and tacky, like what I call tacky belly dance. So when I dance in England, because I've danced and worked in both Cairo and Egypt, I do a bit more tacky belly dance, you know, the stereotypical what you think. Whereas when I'm in Egypt and I'm working in Egypt, I'm allowed to do what I think is real belly dance.
Well, I just wanted to say, as a dude, we really appreciate the belly dancing. You know, like it is a great culture because they're usually hot chicks belly dancing. So you can't get better than that.
What was the reason for it originally? Like, it had to start somewhere, right?
I think wasn't it
Was it to hypnotize a man or something, or like to get him ready?
To get him ready.
I mean, I'm just.
What are you getting ready for, mate?
Well,
It was to get you finished. No,
I like that. I'm gonna give you some of that. Don't leave me
ready,
hanging.
Nick.
Don't leave me hanging on that one.
We're all sitting having dinner.
Get you
We're all
ready.
sitting having dinner thousands of years ago, and this woman comes out, and she's got the little outfit on.
Yeah.
She's doing her thing.
I would say that's very fantasy. That's what
TV.
I'm talking
That's
about.
TV.
We are from America.
That's
We
what
fantasize a lot over here.
Help us understand, because
I'm not saying that didn't exist. Look, the origins of belly dance are really, really, really debated as to how far it went, how much influence we had, because we're on the Silk route in Egypt, so there could have been influence from Indian traveling people. I don't know whether, people that traveled through the Silk route. So there's all these influences from different eras. As I said, there's been lots of different people coming in and out of Egypt. But you can see as far back as ancient Egyptians, even in pharaonic time, pictures of women dancing, doing back bends, doing things at festivals, at celebrations. So some kind of celebration dance as far back as ancient pharaonic in Egypt, and like girls wearing harps. And there's this famous pharaonic picture of the dancers, of like the pharaonic dancers. There's a famous pharaonic picture with them all with their harps doing back bends and things like that. So it's been in Egypt. Dance and music are there for community gatherings and coming together. Now, it definitely started as more like this women dancing together, and men love to dance, celebrations, fertilizing the earth, this kind of tribalism, like all dance has.
It's almost like Indians with rain
We're
dance.
Americans,
It's
so we think a little
it's
differently.
becoming one with the earth and all types of things
Yeah,
like that.
if you go back as far enough in any
It's all
culture,
these ritual dancing.
there's this ritual dance.
Yeah.
Dance is something that I believe is so natural to human beings. I think it's our second. I think dancing is like a nature, and luckily, I think that's been suppressed in a lot of us. But still, today in Egyptian culture,
in the Bible.
dance is within us. I think singing and dancing and
He's
singing
black,
and
he does,
dancing,
he
yeah.
does.
I'm mixed.
but some of it is sensual and sexual. Like if you go and you see somebody doing the robot,
That's sexual. It's like, damn, baby. That is.
So look, we're coming from all this. Yes, it's a very cultural dance. Yes, it has cultural things,
I'm
but
mentioning
Egyptians
I'm
love
mentioning it.
entertainment, and yes, there has been this branch off of entertainment that has become the solo woman dancer. Now, I'm not going to deny it. I don't like belly dancers because a lot of belly dancers get offended by this because the men are just objectifying us, and it's a high art. Egyptian belly dance is very difficult. I have been a belly dancer since I was 17. Maybe even younger, 16, 17. I've worked as a belly dancer since I was very, very young, and I still don't feel like I'm a good belly dancer. I train every day. It's body isolation. I train. This dance is not like, I don't want to diss other dances, but it's not like just a strip tease. This has cultural, heritage, like background. I have to learn the rhythms, the history, the context. I've already listed baladi, shabi, shari. I've listed all the different types of belly dance. You have to learn all these folkloric dances, all the cultural dances. So it's really deep thing. But I'm not going to deny, in Egypt, it's a form of entertainment. And guess what? I'm very gorgeous when I'm on stage and people enjoy me, and I dance for a lot of men, but I also dance for a lot of women. And it's very strange because it's hard in the Western culture to understand something that is, yeah, it's kind of sexy, but it's not an objectification. I think it's a celebration of the woman. I would say it's more a celebration. I don't think the men stand there and be like, oh yeah, she's this. It's more like, wow, I love the woman's body to this music, and it is an escapism. When I dance, I tell my students, when I dance, you need to dance with a projection of I allow you to enjoy me. And that sounds, I know you jump on sexuality, that's like, oh, but it's a permission to lose yourself. And in a lot of our culture, people want to lose themselves. And that womanly figure, that dance music, it's what we call going into tarab, which is like an ecstasy state. And I believe I am a channeler of my audience, and I believe through me, through my dance, I take the audience with me. I take the music because I have live band and I lead my band. If I'm going like hard, my tabla drummer, so my drummer, he has to bang harder. If I'm going slower, I look at them and they slow down the music. I'm
sweating over here.
and
you're not even dancing yet.
Yes, and I channel.
It ain't me. I'm good. I'm chilling.
And as a result, I like to think, I channel my whole room, because when the belly dancer's on stage, she is the center in Egypt. And I really believe I channel us to like another level. I mean, it might help that they're smoking shisha and stuff like that and other stuff. But we all go on a journey, and it's
Trust me, they're on the journey right now.
We're Americans, and we're very immature over here. So
yeah, but here in when I danced in England or when I danced in America, if I was to come to America and dance in restaurants, it's more taking you on a fantasy, and I don't think it's got that deep level to it.
A lot of Americans,
it's not escapism.
We don't understand it, but when we see it, like I go to Eden Garden Cafe, I like that place a lot. Yeah. Belly dancer comes out. I find it kind of like hypnotizing, also beckoning.
Well, imagine if you had it in Egypt. Do you know how long I danced for in America? And usually she comes on, she dances to CD for 3 or 4 songs, changes style, changes dances and props. If I go to Egypt, I dance with no props, no special stuff for 45 minutes with not even a costume change and live music. So can you imagine if you have that in front of you, like how much you have to actually like engage? It's like a journey, like 45 minutes of just watching my body shake in front of you. It's
it don't.
That's like the club.
You make it sound worse than what it is. I mean, for you, but maybe for everybody else, it's not that bad.
We like it all.
You'd be surprised at how I find
we like that side.
Yeah, but I think Westerners find it very difficult to switch off for 45 minutes.
Well, you guys are like your stuff is
they
like
want more. They want this.
Yeah.
Where in Egypt, they just want to go to a club and enter this state. They want to smoke their shisha, lay back. They're not allowed phones in cabaret clubs. In discos, yeah, but in cabaret clubs,
really?
No, you're not allowed to phone, because if I start phoning you, if I start filming, you're going to film the Arabs, and Arabs don't like people to know that they're out having a good time. Women and men.
That means they're up to no good.
It's a culture thing. It's a culture thing.
Oh, it really is?
It's a culture
you don't
thing,
go
yeah.
showing. Yes, in the discos, we have discos which are like the West, and probably the belly dance style is the same as what we have in the West. But in proper Egyptian styles and cabaret clubs, no, you're not allowed to film. It's escapism, and you don't share this with your stuff, and you go and do your, I don't know, what you don't want to put on the internet kind of stuff. You sit, you smoke, you drink. You watch your belly dancer. That ain't stuff people are not allowed to film. You sit there and you zone out, and you have dancer, and you'll have several dancers over the night and several live singers. And they also have live singers, which are tarab singers. So you'll have like live poetry being sung to you, and everybody's in the room like, oh, this man, he's taking me away with live poetry. And then they'll have a dancer come on, and she'll dance for 45 minutes, and that's like poetry of the body. And yeah, so it's really trance stuff. It's really, which you don't see. And people throw loads and loads and loads of money. Like, I will come in and there's tables full of money.
Like this.
Yep, and you throw it. It's not about touching the dancer like here where, oh, I get to pit a dancer. No, it's throwing money. And people find that so hard. I take Westerners to these clubs to watch it, and they're like, why are they just throwing away money? Like, you just buy money, you buy it at a different rate. So I might buy £1,000 worth and I get £2,000 to throw. And I'll just throw £2,000 worth of money to over one night. And it's because you're so like...
It's appreciation. Almost.
It's appreciation, but it's like... That moment is so worth it. You're so in the moment. We're so not in the moment in the West. We're so in tomorrow, the day after. What are we thinking about? Or we're stuck in the past. We're depressed because of what happened yesterday or blah, blah, blah. Or thinking about on your phone. You're never in the moment, in your body, in the essence of what that is. And when you're in that moment is priceless. That moment lets you let go of anything. You throw thousands to have that moment. That's what.
What's your biggest night? What is your biggest take home? Share it with us.
Look, the problem is there's an exchange rate between Egyptian pound and dollars, which is rubbish.
Give it to us in dollars.
Nothing like what a dancer would make in America.
It doesn't matter.
No.
But just so the audience gets an idea.
No, okay, so I could probably take home on a really good night in Egypt, which sounds like nothing in America, like what, $400? But to put that into perspective, 400. So I work every day of the week, 7 nights a week. 7 nights a week, every day of the week, every night. Cabaret never stops. And cabaret starts at 10 p.m. and it finishes at 7 a.m. So 7 a.m. is when the club's shut. So from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I make about £400 a night. So let's $400 a night. Yeah. So, but just put that in perspective. My rent is $100 per month. So I make 4 months rent in one night.
Yeah, so it is relative. So
it's
you make
relative.
like $1,600 a night.
Yeah, so what you pay per month, let's say, not you might live in a nice house, but let's say I live in an okay house, a 3-bedroom house. What that is in California, take that rent, I make 4 times that in a night, the equivalent. I can live off of one night's work for a whole month and go out clubbing, work.
Wow.
So when you think about it that way, I'm not making, but also so I'll come here and I'll make good money whilst I'm in California and traveling and teaching. I'll go back and I can live off what I make, because also I've made a big name for myself. So I make dollars from outside and live in Egypt on Egyptian money. This is how you want to live in, by the way. If anybody wants to be rich, you make a remote job that pays you in dollars, and you go live in a country where you're paying out in low currency. Yeah. I have a cleaner. I could never have a cleaner in California or in London. Definitely not in London. I have a cleaner come and clean my clothes. I have all my clothes are dry cleaned. I have a cleaner clean my house. I live damn nice life. And also, to put this in perspective, my cousins who are Egyptian, who work in government jobs, they probably earn per month what I earn per day or 2 days work.
Wow.
Yes.
So
Yes. They I'd say, okay, not one day. I would say 2 nights of a good gigs with a good wedding would earn what my cousin earns on a 9 till 5, 5-day a week job. So belly dancers make good money in Egypt. It's just relative.
But traffic.
So how excited are you for this weekend?
Oh, I'm well excited. I'm going to have these events have hundreds of dancers come around the world, and these are my fans. I'm really I don't like to say fans because that sounds derogative, but these are my sisters. These are my belly dance sisters and brothers. There's boys that do it. Everybody, however you want to identify. These are my siblings in dance. These guys are passionate. They love what I do. They look at me. They respect me. They see the journey I've been on, and I want to share with them my culture, share with them my experiences, share with them also what I've learned about myself through dance. I've had to become a very, very, very strong person, because to be a dancer It's not easy to go to clubs. They're always like, you need to do this. You need to be strong in yourself to survive in the clubbing industry in Cairo, in London, as a belly dancer, to compete with other dancers. It's a hard industry to be in.
What do you give us the downside? Give me some downsides. Like, do you have stalkers? Do you have guys that follow you wherever you go that are obsessed with you?
I have some weird people. I'm not going to lie. There's been some weird people. I've had managers try and kill me.
What?
Okay, so in
We didn't
Egypt,
hear this story.
yeah. So in Egypt, you often, as a dancer, will get a manager to manage your work because you don't want to go to the club and be like, "Can you give me a work? Can you give me jobs?" No, you need to look like a classy queen. The belly dancer is a queen, so the manager will go and do your job. But your manager is like, I don't like to say this word. It's like a pimp almost. You know, he goes out and gets you gigs. He takes commission on all that, and these people can get possessive, can get psycho on you, can fuck you over, can take all your money, can steal from you. I had one of them. He was fine. We did 8 months of work. We starred in TV shows. We did films. It was absolutely amazing. I was buzzing. I was on top. I had like music videos out. This is when I first came to Cairo. But he went like, I think he crossed the line where he thought that he owned me. He owned me and I was his, and he started to get psycho, and if I didn't want to go to work, he would get a bit violent, and I found myself...
Violent?
Yeah, violent.
Like, what do you
I found
mean?
myself... So I tell you, I found myself, because I picked trust, because this is when I was a naive belly dancer. Belly dance is not for girls. It's for... You have to be a smart woman in belly dance. I was a naive little girl, just wanted to be a belly dancer, and I'll tell you something, if you're an artist, you can always be played by your dreams, because I want to be a belly dancer. I want to be a famous belly dancer. I want to dance in the clubs. I want to dance in the 5-star hotels. I want to be in the films. You know, when you're like that, they can play you. I don't know if you... Loads of in the arts, they have it must happen here in Hollywood all the time. You know, the director plays the girl and the girl starts doing stupid things or whatever, or I'm going to get you that gig, I'm going to get you that role, I'll get you the role, you just need to come to my house. And it happens with boys. You know, there's a famous Netflix series called
No Diddy over here, you know.
Yeah.
The whole Diddy situation.
Exactly. But it happens with men as well. There's a big Netflix thing going around called Baby Reindeer, and this guy, he gets raped by a man. He wants to be an actor and he gets raped by this famous guy who's got a TV production thing.
Damn.
It happens when you're a dreamer and you're like an artist. You'll do anything to have your dreams. And I just picked down my barriers. I trusted him. I trusted him with everything. Let him take the money, not knowing how much they're really paying. I'll just accept the money that he's given me. And he started to believe that he owned me, and he was starting, and he went crazy. And before I knew it, I had a driver, because you get driven to each gig. You do like 3 or 4 gigs a night. You get a driver. I had a driver and I had a technician, which is somebody who carries your bag into the club. So I don't carry my own bag into the club. And they also all spying on me. He got violent with me. He tried to beat me up. He tried to, when I wouldn't.
He really thought he was a pimp.
He really thought he was a pimp. He really did. Like, and I'm not shy. Like, I don't. It was just dance. I mean, I wouldn't, some belly dancers do other stuff, but it was just dance. He went crazy with me, and he stole my passport and was blackmailing me as well, because I have Egyptian family in Egypt, and to be a belly dancer, everybody in Egypt loves belly dancers, but nobody wants their daughter to be a belly dancer or their cousin. And he
So he's
found
gonna tell
out.
on you.
Yeah. He was going to blackmail. Wow. He said to me, I'm going to go around the area of your street and put up pictures of your photos of you in belly dance on the street where your family live. If you don't do this,
That's
if you don't
some
do
lame
that
shit,
gig.
though.
Oh, yeah. And I managed to get a restraining order against him in the end. But I had, and I escaped, but I had to escape, like literally escape.
Literally escape?
Literally escape.
How did you escape? Can you tell us?
Called my mum. Called my mum, and she flew over from England and saved me because I just needed, like... It got bad because I was being like watched 24 hours a day in the room, and
what a weird dude! Like,
you'd be surprised. No offense,
How many of them?
I know there's
lots.
a lot of them. It's just like, what the hell?
And I'm not the only manager story that is scary. There were in Egypt a lot of dodgy managers, because the money I'm talking about in Egypt is big. We're talking 4 months rent in one night. That dancer makes a lot of money and by the way, the money I get paid is after about 2 or 3 commission, because there's a stage manager. The stage manager takes, so what the club pays out is this: you're the owner, you pay X amount for the dancer. The stage manager takes a little cut because he's keeping you in the gig, so you give him a cut. The manager that's your manager takes a cut because he's staying in the cut. The person who got the band will take a cut, and then I'll take my cut.
So
Luckily, that's a big amount of money, and I still get a massive amount of money. But a lot of people, as a belly dancer, I'm feeding a lot of mouths.
That's how it is in the U.S. So you have in the U.S. you have a stripper. You tip the DJ.
Yeah, you got
before
to
you
tip
leave
the
out.
music.
How do you know this?
Because you took me to
That's a great question.
you tip the DJ, you tip the security guards,
You
the one,
tip-
the one who's bringing your bags out. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I
Walks
have to
out.
pay what they call the parking outside, and
Yeah.
their justification for me giving them a commission every night is
He's-
that
he's a lot of
they
managers out here,
ban-
too.
They man the doors. They're my security.
Yeah,
They make sure I
that's
don't
the
get
thing.
killed.
And then they call it house fee.
Yeah.
So
house fee.
so in order for the girl to dance at the club, you have to pay a house fee, which
Yeah.
is, you know what I mean, before you start the night.
So there's a lot of money being made on my head, and that makes. And again, like I said, and if you're a girl that has a lot of dreams and you just want to be a famous belly dancer, you can get exploited. You can get yourself into a lot of dangerous places. And I'm not the only dancer. I know dancers that have been beaten up. I know dancers who have been.
Damn, it's like a
Yeah.
pimp. It's
It is.
crazy
This
shit.
is big money in Egypt. It's big money. I am not. I would say I'm a B class belly dancer. If you're an A class belly dancer, I am not making stuff that's equivalent to dollars. But if you're an A class, because belly dancers in Egypt can be celebrities like TV stars in England or in the West. They can get so big. I don't know any other country where a dancer can be as famous as an actor. But in Egypt, a dancer can be as famous as an actor or an actress. If you are the most famous belly dancer in Egypt, you can start charging up to $2,500 to just go and show up for 20 minutes dancing at a wedding, and that's dollars.
Is that one? Is that one of those things like how it's perceived? Like, oh, I want to start dancing just to make my way through school. Is that how it is over there? Or is
There's
it
a lot of dancers who are. A lot of poor girls get into dancing. Yes.
it's easy money or fast
It's
money?
fast money and easy money, but it's also really a respected art at the same time. It's this like oxymoron, like it's a dance.
Win, lose.
It's kind of like belly dance is an art form in Egypt and a very traditional art form that's not just like you can't compare it to stripping because stripping doesn't have cultural.
So as I say, is there stripping
historical-
in English? I mean, in England at all, or like
In Egypt, sorry?
Yeah, well, in Egypt, and because
No, you wouldn't get
No,
strippers.
no,
That's
no.
legal.
Okay, so that's
legal.
why.
It's
That's
illegal.
why. Because I'm like thinking in my
That's
head
the
like
closest thing you'll get to it.
like
probably.
why are they such like trying to pimp them out so hardcore in Egypt?
Because they
You know.
make money. No,
No, you make money, but also it's not like stripping. Stripping doesn't have a cultural context nor history to
Yeah.
it like Egyptian belly does. This is something, and also you don't get a stripper at a wedding.
That's true.
Every wedding has a belly dancer. Every single TV program has a belly dancer, and you put it on, and there's belly dancers in every single music video, belly dancer in every single film. Every wedding has to have a belly dancer. Every birthday party wants to have a belly dancer. So it comes from a scope of where I can go and dance for kids and at a birthday party, and I can also go and dance at night in a cabaret. Of course, how I dance is different, but it's the core moves are the same. But of course, I wouldn't say how I dance is different, but how I project myself is different.
how is
I
this?
don't look into the eyes of the little children you know. Whereas when I'm in the cabaret, I look sexy. I try, but it's the same moves. I don't show any less flesh either. I wear the same costumes.
How has this affected your relationships or relationship status with men?
Okay, so I have, alhamdulillah, I'll probably go to hell for saying that, but I have a very good husband, and he is a man, and he is Muslim, and he's Egyptian, and my family never thought I would ever be able, that's it, when you become a belly dancer, you're damned to never, ever,
So you're
ever,
married,
ever.
right? You're married.
I'm married. You're damned to never find a relationship, you're damned to, and guess what, my friends that are white American belly dancers have issues, not just because they think it's just an Egyptian or Arab thing. No, some of my English girlfriends have issues where their men have been like, I'm not comfortable with you being a belly dancer. And they're not even Arab or Egyptians or Muslim. So I know belly dancers. But I'll tell you something, because a woman, if you have a sense of insecurity about what you're doing, or you give them an inch, they will take a mile. If when they're like, oh, well, how do you feel about being a belly dancer? And you're like, well, I think it's okay. Once you start, like men can smell it. Oh, she's insecure about it. And they get more of an issue about it. When I first met my husband on the very first date, I said, look, if somebody has an issue with me being a belly dancer, they don't date me, because then you're not dating Zara, are you? Why would you want to date? If you don't want to date a belly dancer, don't date me. And I have no issues. And I would never change myself in that respect for any man, because I am Zara. I am a belly dancer.
the whole thing is though, like
Period.
belly dancers are not like it looks so classy. Like, why would
But
they
let's
be?
say I wasn't. Let's say I was a stripper because I don't look down on
But
strippers.
that's different than a stripper.
But
like,
no,
oh,
but
so much
it
different.
is. It's a
It's the principle,
1,000 million
it's the
billion
principle
times
of it.
different from a stripper. But as somebody who is by my society treated like a stripper sometimes, even though they love the cultural dance, they want it at their wedding, they treat me as bad. I don't like to look down on strippers, although I don't think it's a historical dance. But put that to the side. I can't start slut shaming. I can't slut shame strippers because if I slut shame
we
strippers,
can,
I'm a
though.
hypocrite.
But you're not- but you're not even close
But
to
the
them.
truth is, even if I was a stripper, I would approach you and say, "Look, this is who I am. Do you accept me like that? Because I'm not. What's the point in us dating? What's the point in that?" And the moment you show insecurity, they show insecurity. And people say to me, "You're lucky you found a man that doesn't have an issue with it." No, I'm not lucky because it was either that or I'm going to be single, and I have no issue being single. Yes, I would love a man to sing, but what's at the cost of what? There's something that's so definitive in my life, and I know is not wrong. I don't go sleeping with other men. I'm very faithful to my husband. And also, like, luckily, the kind of man you attract when you have that attitude is a man who doesn't have issues. When his friends are like, "Oh, your wife's a belly dancer," he's like, "And what?" He doesn't have issues in himself. He's a very strong, confident man in himself. And that's actually the most sexy thing that I found about my husband.
But
is that he is so secure about himself. But I attracted that. And I couldn't have ended up with a man that wasn't. Because if a man is insecure, he's going to crumble under the fact that his wife is a belly dancer and is admired and has 300,000 followers on Facebook, or Instagram. Even if I'm just teaching, I just do teaching cheesy belly dancing. I don't even do sexy belly dancing on Instagram. But they will find that insecure. And I have to say, being a belly dancer is one of the best ways to vet men. The moment they start having issues, you know that man has other deeper issues about women and insecurities. So it brings it out to the forefront. I'm not going to be dating a man and then actually realize he's a bit sexist or a bit this, because belly dance brings out which men are sexist straight away, you know.
So like,
oh, belly dancer, and they get the belly out, belly dancer. Oh, you're a belly dancer. You know, you're like, yeah, I'm a belly dancer. I'm not dating that man.
but see, I personally, I don't look at it like that at all, because strippers and belly dancers are nowhere near each other.
No, they're not.
Strippers have like
That's not what she
major.
said.
I know what she's saying. But I'm saying is they have major like daddy issues. Most strippers are like messed up in the head.
But I'm sure a lot of Egyptian belly
obsessed with
dancers
money.
do.
But belly dancers are a whole different thing. It's like,
Yeah,
it's
it
a
is.
culture.
I agree. It is.
It's like,
Thank you.
It's like they're putting so much into it. How you put into twerking on the pole? You're not. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
you're putting.
I appreciate. I find very few people that see it like that.
Well,
Thank
even
God.
even real dancers that dance in so many different forms. That's an art. You know what I mean? So
Yes,
I look at that as different. And
thankful.
I don't feel like a man should be jealous of a woman doing belly dancing.
But a lot in my culture, for me, most Egyptian women don't even show their skin on the street in the supermarket,
Yeah,
let alone go
that's
to a
why.
male-dominated club. Now, all my clubs I work in, there are men and women, and some women, even women in niqabs, come and watch me. You know, in Egypt, they come to Egypt from the Gulf, and they love to come and watch a belly dancer in a cabaret and smoke shisha under their niqab. These are the secrets of our religion. But I go to a mostly male with some women event and dance in what is small amount of clothes, considering my cousin is in a hijab and isn't even allowed to have a plumber come in her house unless a man is in her husband or her father or her father-in-law is in her house. So to compare to my so he could, and I completely agree with you, and I'm so glad you saw that. But I have to say
different where you're
it's just
from.
different, and I get seen like a stripper a lot, although I'm not, and I do, and I'm like, I want to cry that you see that
It doesn't even come close
They are
to me.
different. No, they don't come to it.
Not even a little bit.
I don't do anything like that, but I can understand people who equate it to stripping. I understand that because in my culture, maybe it could, and it's not because it's culture. And I said you'd never ever get a stripper in a wedding. You don't take.
I wouldn't have a stripper just by herself on the podcast. You know, there's just no reason for it. Like,
but I don't like to slut shame because I've been suffered so much of slut shaming through my life as being a belly dancer, from my culture, from my heritage. My dad, when he found out I was a belly dancer, smashed my head through a window.
now.
And I had resonant brain damage and had to go to hospital. I had a seizure 2 days after, and then I had to go on medication to control seizures for over 2 years just because I'm a belly dancer.
But if it's culturally acceptable in Egypt and it's part of the genetic makeup of your
Yes.
country, then why would your father get upset?
It's culturally part of it, and they want to watch it in the videos, but they don't want their daughter to do
yeah.
it.
It's almost like
Wow.
it's almost
So it's
almost like-
taboo in a sense.
Yeah, someone like saying,
It's taboo for your daughter to do it. It's so weird. It's like you want a belly dancer at your daughter's wedding, but you don't want your daughter to be at somebody else's
It's almost
wedding.
like, it's almost like a guy watching porn, but your daughter would you want with your daughter.
See,
watching
to me, it doesn't look
You know
like
what I
porn,
mean?
though. Like, it's like, okay, let's
I
just
don't
say,
even think there's a comparison.
Yeah,
You couldn't even compare that to
let's just say
anything.
hip hop
It's-
dancing in like let's say hip hop, right? Hip hop dancing, but they're like in like, you know, some short shorts or something like that. But nobody looks at that as like, oh, that girl's a stripper.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what
It's
I'm saying?
like
Out
that.
here.
But if your daughter's
get
a
a bag.
ballerina, then
But-
you're like, wow. And ballerina wear little outfits.
Yeah, they do.
And you're like,
Yeah, it's
wow.
true.
So I guess it comes down to
It's
the
The
context of the
culture
dance.
too, of how they are.
And the
too.
con-
No, because some of my friends, they work as folkloric dancers and they wear galabeas, which are long dresses, and they do the old school dancing in troops, and it's literally it's like a folklore, but they don't want them to be dancers. However, if their daughter was to become a ballerina, because that is a Western art, and wear a little tutu and put her leg up in the air and show her tutu and a little ass, they probably would think she was absolutely amazing, because this is Western art, which
Yeah.
is not derogatory or dirty. Egyptians have a lot of issues. A lot of it comes from self-hate. For example, in Egypt, there's a lot of foreign belly dancers, and I benefit from that privilege. Oh, she's a bit white. We like the whiter dancers, or the Russian dancers, the belly dancers that come here from Russia, because foreign is better, because Egyptians have a lot of self-hate, and it's almost like a colonial residue from colonialization. We're almost self-hating. The whiter skin is better. The foreign is better.
It's like a
Everything
Mexican
Egyptian
thing,
is
too. Same thing with Hispanics.
Yeah, it's kind of like a colonial hate. So Egyptian belly dance in Egypt is considered cheap dancing, whereas ballet is high art, or white art is high art. For example, I do a lot, I told you, of street dance, Egyptian street dance. Egyptian street dance is considered really derogatory because it comes from the working classes.
Right.
But if I was an Arab and I did rap music, Western rap music, but in Arabic, that's considered really high art in Egypt.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that ironic?
So for the for the festival that's coming up, are you,
Yeah, we're gonna get on the festival now.
so for the festival coming up, what kind of dancing will you be doing?
I will be doing traditional Egyptian belly dancing. I will be teaching, actually, no, I'll be teaching 2 workshops doing Maharganat, which is Egyptian street dance, and another one which is called Saidi. Now, this is a very, very, very traditional dance that comes from Upper Egypt. And the Saidi people, this is a folkloric dance, which is as far back as even pharaonic times. You can see Egyptians dancing with stick, and this is danced in a long galabea, is nothing, and actually is derived from tahtib, which is a male stick martial art dance in Egypt. So I'll be doing that. So I'll be doing street dance for that. But when I come to perform, I will do Oriental, which is like the standard. And
I think I saw you doing the stick dance on social media.
you did.
That was cool. That was dope. I like
I
that.
do stick that. That comes from a male Egyptian martial art dance. See,
okay.
belly dance, what comes under the umbrella is so massive. And then I will be doing, in the show, Oriental belly dance, which is a very beautiful in a nice 2-piece costume. And then I'll also do another set where I'll do something called Alexandrian dance, which is from the city of Alexandria, which is a seaside dance, and we dance with a little bit of material. Like we do a traditional rap dance, which is a seaside dance, a cultural seaside dance, again a folkloric form of belly dance, and then a bit of shabi, which is working class, upbeat working class music that Egyptians use to Egyptians used because the working class are very suppressed in Egypt, and they used music to liberalize themselves. And I will use shabi music. Again, I'll be doing working class music, which is a revolutionary style of music which enabled working class people to voice their issues of Egypt.
So have you done this festival before?
Yes, it's my 3rd year here,
Third year.
and it's my favorite festival.
Is there competition in it, like how like we have like dance competitions?
Yes, I'm going to be
Like
the
hip-hop
judge.
Okay, you wanna
I'm
be
the judge. There are 2
competitions?
competitions. There are 2 belly dance competitions. I'll be the judge of one of them, an improvisation competition. And yes, some of these girls study years to be in these competitions. And if you win competitions, you can big
And
names
what are
yourself.
what are like the criteria? Like what do you guys look for like in dance? So like American dance, you look for isolation, you look for pop,
All
like
of a
pop.
sudden.
It could be like pointing of the feet type
Yes,
shit.
yep,
My
we'll
sister
be
was a
looking
dancer.
for that.
Yeah.
No, because my sister.
Where'd
was-
that come
be
from,
looking
cuz?
for-
No,
Where'd that from,
Okay,
cuz?
so I
What do we know about you?
used.
We're learning more about you
Yeah,
right
My
now.
sister used to-
exactly
my
the same
sister used
thing.
to own
I'm
a
gonna say,
studio, so I used
has
to
she
tap dance
got good
and
posture?
Oh, damn.
Good posture, good arm
Yeah.
movements, good technique. Not only that, is she putting the right technique to the right rhythms? Because I've told you there's 1,000 different rhythms. If this rhythm comes on, what you need to be doing is a traditional technique from this style. Has she got good isolation? Also, is she connecting to the audience? Because belly dance is not a solo where you look into yourself and just dance.
Right.
It's not a self-indulgent dance.
smiling at the audience and
It's,
everything. Like,
it's
yeah,
not just
eye contact,
smiling.
eye contact.
It's not just smiling, eye contact. It's like in captivating the audience. Is she in captivating the song? Does she take the vibe of the room? Does she take the vibe of the music? Has she presented herself well? Is she on good timing? Does she make a good entrance? Does she use the stage? Does she have awareness of her body? So loads of stuff. Yeah.
That's like
How do,
legit, like cheerleading type stuff. Like my daughter's a cheerleader and she has to do all that.
But you got to remember,
You know,
art
it's
is
like-
subjective.
Yeah.
How
So-
do people get tickets for this? I mean, where do they go to get tickets?
CairoShimmyQuake.com.
Is there anybody on the chat?
Yeah, let's
So if there's
do
anybody-
a giveaway. We're gonna do a giveaway.
So if there's anybody in the chat right now, if you comment right now, follow her on Instagram.
Yeah, Zara.dance on Instagram.
Follow House Over Baz on Instagram also, and we'll be giving away a free ticket. Comment,
And like and
Boom.
subscribe.
right, comment right
Where I
now.
am.
Comment right now, and then when we see it, we will send it to you.
And I'd love to come, you guys come and see me. And if you don't win the competition, you can go to CairoShimmyQuake.com and check us out and come to the party.
Now, is there food there? Do they have the whole setup?
They have Egyptians making food. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's going to be really nice.
And there'll be lots of Egyptians. And the event is actually run by an amazing Egyptian family, which I think is great because it's an Egyptian festival run by Egyptians.
Who's the Egyptian family?
The Diamond family. And they're absolutely amazing.
Right
so
here.
check them out. And they're here. I love them.
Well, that's
I love my
fantastic.
Egyptian cousins here doing the work. I
So
love
what
it.
would be the biggest night? Friday, Saturday, or Sunday?
I would say for general, good core belly dance, to see a lot of belly dancers. You're going to see a lot of different styles.
The
Like I
night you're
said, the
there, huh?
commercial, but I'll be doing the traditional. You're going to be seeing a lot of the fusion styles. I'd say come on Saturday.
Coming all 3 days.
Yeah, but come all 3 days.
Friday we do have Jelena with Alice in Wonderland.
It's not
I can't hear you. Go on here. Go on here.
There
No,
will
this one,
be,
this
but there are 3 shows, and you should definitely come. All 3 shows. There will be a theatrical.
All 3 shows. We have Jelena.
No,
on
get in this
Friday.
one. Get on that one. No, I can't hear
Here,
you.
just tell me.
Just say it on here.
We have Alice in Wonderland with Jelena on Friday. You have to come out and check it out. Saturday is really good. We also have the gala show at night, and then Sunday all day, belly dancers.
Oh,
yeah.
the Sundays all day. Okay,
Sundays
cool.
all
Yeah.
day as well. Belly dancers, live music. The competition is on Sunday. If you want to check out
Yeah.
Zara,
Yeah.
go in the comment. Get the
Come
tickets.
here. I'll be dancing Saturday night. You
How
can
many
see me
tickets are we
dancing 3
giving
times.
away? 10?
10.
10
Yalla
tickets.
bina, yalla ba'a. And if any Egyptians are there, come on. Come and support
We're
you.
definitely going to have to talk to Ed. I mean,
Yeah.
Ed has no idea. He'd love this.
Yeah, we got to get him
Yeah.
to him too.
But they have to have good food.
Oh, ethnic
That's all.
Egyptian food, bro. You can't go wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Ethnic Egyptian.
You're going
Oh,
to
you
be
can
some
hear it
good
now.
Egyptian food there and stuff. So I'd love to see you guys, yeah.
What's
I'd love to see you guys come and see me in Cairo.
Oh, we're
in a
going.
proper cabaret with
We're
live
going.
music as well one day.
We've been invited. Like I said, our friend has a really nice penthouse in Cairo.
Oh,
He's invited us anytime we want to go, and a place in Alexandria. But back to Saturday night when you're
Yes.
dancing. Are you competing?
No, I'm the judge of the
So
competition.
you're done with competing.
Oh, I did that very many years ago. I'm now an established dancer that's flown in from Cairo to teach and train and judge. I'm really lucky. I'm really
Wow.
lucky.
She's making them pounds.
Yeah.
So how long do the ladies get to show their stuff and then?
Usually it's really short, like 3 to 4 minutes. They'll get to
Routine?
show.
Yes,
But
so
I
it's
can
competition
tell
style.
a good dance. Yeah, it's competition style. It's not that. I mean, you can't make them do a 45-minute
Yeah.
set each. It's competition. They'll come on for the 3-4 minutes. And actually, one of the competitions that I'm going to be judging is improvisation. They won't even know the song until they step onto the stage. And if you're a good belly dancer, by the way,
like freestyle.
By the way, I do all my shows 45 minutes a night. I don't even know what the band's going to do. I get on, I sense the vibe, I tell the band what music. The singer sometimes sings different songs. Belly dance is an improvisational of the moment dance. Real true belly dance. So there'll be an improvisation. Those girls come on, they don't even know what they're going to dance to. And then if they get to the second round, they go on stage and dance with a band they've never even
That's a
danced
lot
with.
like flamenco.
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
of the moment. Real. This
Yeah.
is not choreography. It's not 1, 2, 3. This is a real organic. And I told you, it's all about me. I really believe I channel through people or me of the moment. It changes. If the audience is relaxed, I do more soft songs. If it's more crazy, I do more crazy songs. I bounce off my audience. They bounce off me. I bounce off my singer. The sings off. Sometimes the singer chooses a song. Sometimes I do. So there's no steps. I haven't memorized steps. I just know the music, and they know me, and we just
Is it kind of easier like growing up out in that region, becoming a belly dancer versus like say you're American and you want to become a belly dancer? Like if it's not in you type thing, like you how you say.
I think some Americans are very good at it, but they struggle with the feeling aspect. They're very good, sometimes even better technically than Egyptian dancers. They've trained it like they've trained ballet. And some of them are even better technique than I can ever do. They train, because it's a lot of isolation, they train the isolations to levels that the old school belly dancers, don't even train. It's because they've almost made it, the West like to have things with rules and lines and this, but then they don't have the feeling or the
it's not as natural.
Taste.
It's not as natural.
It's not as natural.
technique.
And that is hard because they need to really fully immerse themselves in studying the culture. And some have been amazing and mastered it, but that's not easy. You need to become almost Egyptian to dance Egyptian belly
That's
dance.
what gives it the it factor.
Yeah.
It's almost
Yeah.
being
You're very
it's like
passionate
some people are
about
athletic,
it.
and then some
Oh, yeah.
people are like
It's
you
my
could,
life.
You could teach them the basic moves, and you can
that.
tell
And
they
you
do
kinda
it.
fake
They
it.
do it like
Yeah.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3,
Yeah.
versus like it just flows.
Whoa,
Flows,
do that
yeah.
again?
No, basketball. I'm not basketball. That was a layup.
But you must know it
ca-
in
we
any
keep
of your own
catching you.
culture
Yeah, 'cause,
dances.
yeah.
Like you could teach people to do hip hop, but if they haven't lived that life,
Right.
you
That
know,
gangster life, cuz. You know what I mean?
you know, it's like you haven't lived that life. You can dance it absolutely perfect and step it perfect, but there could be a kid on the street that hasn't trained, but they lived that life. They've got that taste and that vibe about what that dance is, and you know, people have to fully immerse themselves in it. And to become a really amazing hip hop dancer, you'd have to fully immerse yourself in that kind of culture and that kind of, to get that vibe instead of just stepping out. Dance is not about stepping out moves. Technique is only not even 50%, I believe, in dance. And that's ironic because in the West, we really concentrate on technique in all dance. It's like ballet, technique. But most dance is not. It's about, dance is an art. It's also, I know we have competitions, but ultimately it's an art form which is subjective, not objective. It's not like running a race, who wins, who is the fastest, who is this. It's ultimately subjective. Like, for example, Picasso's art isn't drawn perfect. It's not like a photo.
It's his own.
It's an own interpretation. I'm actually technically, I wouldn't say I'm the most technically amazing dancer. I can do a lot of moves.
So you're the Picasso of belly dance.
Yeah, but why do my audience love me? Because when I go away and I've resonated with them. There's something, whether it's the men, whether it's the belly dance community, whether it's all the little old ladies that like to come and see me in belly dance festivals, whether it's the men in the things, whether it's the wedding, I resonate, I touch their heart, I share something of myself with that person, and we go on a journey together. And that is what art is, and that's what dance is. And I think to understand that.
Yeah, that's what makes like some of the performers like in musical theater, you know, the best of the best, because they can resonate with the audience.
Yeah.
But we said the same thing. We were talking about Thai boxing, Muay Thai. Why are the Thais so great? Well, the Thais live it since they're 6 years old. You know, they're in
passionate
Thailand.
about it.
It's in their blood. It's a national sport.
Yeah.
And when you have that inside you, I mean, you can't fake it, can you?
Yeah.
At all.
You can't fake it. You have to really embody it.
Right.
And it's scary to embody it.
Why is it scary?
Sometimes,
It's a
well,
spiritual thing. It's like
if you really embody the dance, I'm really making myself vulnerable to you. If I'm going to show you myself, really, because technique is easy to do in front of somebody. If you don't like my technique, it's not a personal attack on me.
Have you ever broke down, like after you did a routine? Have you ever just cried?
I've
broke
never
down?
cried. Belly dance has been emotional because if somebody doesn't like me as a dancer, I've had to learn to step back and not take that personally. Not everybody likes every piece of art. You know, not everybody actually likes Picasso. I actually don't like Picasso, ironically, but I don't like, you know, not every artist thinks Picasso.
you're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea, basically.
Everybody,
and you gotta learn how to
that's
accept that.
whereas if you stick to in the lines, nearly everybody will say you dance well or you drew a beautiful picture. If I can draw this cup and it looks exactly like the cup, everybody can say, well, at least you can draw. But if I put my personality on it and put that, then you're gonna maybe say that's a piece of crap. And I have to disassociate myself from this, do you know? So it's actually, you're really showing vulnerability, because when you pick art, when you make art, you're showing your soul to people.
Giving it away.
You're showing your soul to any art that actually has meaning and purpose is showing your soul to people. And you can get rejected from that. That can be thrown in your face. But I've had to now disassociate with that and just give myself, and this is why. And you know what? There are people out there that need to see you. Well, not everybody's going to like you, but your people are out there.
But it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, when you get to that level, you can't worry about what anybody else says.
Luckily, I've got to that level, but it's a really hard journey to get to that level.
From there to there. Yeah.
How is it with your audience? Like, as far as like social media, do you get like certain backlashes from whether it's your
there'll always
culture,
be occasionally somebody like, oh, well, you're not ugly, that because you're
or a certain body type?
Yeah, your
sometimes?
body type. I don't like that. You can't dance, because they like more technical dancers, or they don't. Also, it's really hard to vibe off of online.
You're always gonna get trolls, but fuck the trolls.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You get hate. I'm not gonna die.
Is there a body type in belly dancing?
In Egypt, there's a more general belly dance type, the body type, than in here. Like in Egypt, we have more varied. The appreciation of the female body is less defined than here. I think if you want to be a famous belly dancer in a city as competitive as LA or in London, you have to have like really like an immaculate body. But in Egypt, that is considered an immaculate body. But what immaculate body covers a different spectrum.
Got it. Wow.
Covers a different spectrum of what the beauty is.
So you can eat differently in Egypt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they like to have a variance, because who wants to see a night when you're sitting and have 4 belly dancers come out that all look the same?
Right.
They like bigger dancers, smaller dancers. They like to serve it up. And also, they quite like the rawity of a woman's body. Like, if she's a bit, a bit of cellulite, it's quite sexy in Egypt. In cabarets, not in the discos that are like refined discos. But they like a bit of that. They like that.
See this.
It's an appreciation, a bit curvy. But they also, there's skinny dancers out there. It's a more varied palette, shall I say.
I would think, though, it's
But you
harder
have to look damn good.
for
You
a
can't
skinny
look skinny.
dancer to be able to do what?
There are skinny dancers that have owned it. They've got to own it. That's the thing. You got to own
Work a little bit
it.
harder.
You got to own it. You got to be confident, because you'll get ripped apart. Like, because the moment you go to these clubs, the owners feel that they have the right to tell you how their opinion of your looks. Every night you get it, because it's like a power issue.
I didn't know it was that crazy, that world. But I guess
Belly
it
dance
makes
is a
sense.
massive industry in Egypt. Hundreds of thousands in Cairo. There's hundreds of dancers.
I think it's no different than being an actress. It's soul crushing.
Yeah, soul crushing.
Rejection.
Yes, thank you.
Over and over and over.
Yeah.
And you got to keep pushing,
Yeah.
believing in yourself. Meanwhile, your family, you can't tell your family because
Yeah.
your dad doesn't want you to be a belly dancer. So
Yeah.
you got all these
crazy.
variables you got to
alone.
deal with.
I would have never thought that it was like that part
No.
was where the dad didn't want that. I thought it was like something where everybody was like cool with that,
And also, one of the reasons I was so vulnerable, and a lot of belly dancers get themselves in trouble, is because you can't tell your family. And when you can't tell your family, these managers can get you you're more vulnerable as a single woman.
Oh, okay,
And-
that makes sense.
Yeah,
They know they can mess with you.
yeah, and also, I can't go back and say, Dad, come and help me. Or I can't. In Egypt, if I had any issues with any other situation, I would have called my uncles. I can't call my uncle and say I've got in some trouble with this manager who's my belly dance.
What about changing your name, like have a fake name?
I don't. My Egyptian name isn't Zara. It's a
Stage name.
stage name.
Got it.
But it's very, 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 very. I have 2 names. It's my English name. It's an English version of my Egyptian name.
Okay.
If you weren't belly dancing, what would you be doing?
I have a PhD in physics. I'm a doctor of physics.
You sound like a doctor.
Dr. Zara.
You're very good at speaking.
I'm a doctor of physics. Can you believe it? That's also why my
let's
father
talk
hates
about
me.
quantum mechanics.
I do quantum optics. I did quantum optics and laser physics, and I have a PhD in quantum optics and laser physics. Can you believe it? But I belly danced my whole way through my degrees, and I was a
Wow.
belly dancer. And then when I finally got my PhD, I was sick of academia, and I was sick of how. And I felt the ironic thing is, right? I felt more disrespected in physics as a woman, and more objectified, and more judged about my class. I told you I went to university. They took the piss out of how I spoke and how I did, and because I like big earrings and I like to wear leopard print, and I was top of my class in all physics, A student. Yet because I was loud, bubbly, liked to wear leopard print, I was never taken seriously, and I'm from a poor background. So I've never been so judged. And also they have big issues with women, especially women that look like women and have pink nails. doing physics. And so I felt more objectified and more sexism in physics than I ever felt being a belly dancer, sometimes being assumed as a stripper.
That's wild. You would never think that. It was that crazy. you
And
know?
I left because physics is literally full of arrogant people that think they're God. Anyway.
You wanted to say pricks.
Yeah,
you can say that.
I was going to say other shit. Yeah.
Zara, we're running out of time, but I do want to ask you one last
Yes,
question.
please do.
So take everything away, and if you could just speak to us from who you are deep inside, if your heart would speak to us, what would it say who you are?
Oh, who am I? I'm somebody who's got a lot of love and has been through a lot of pain and I want to share my love with people and let them know that I'm there for them, because I've sometimes felt like I'm alone in the world, and I want people to know that I'm also, I want to help people because I've not been helped in some time. And why do I do that? Because if your pain that you've been through makes you bitter, then it's won. Where I like to think my pain has made me more loving, more compassionate, and more of a giving person, and that's what I am.
Stronger.
Wow.
Yeah, genuinely, I'm a loving
Buzz on
person
that
because of my pain.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. You killed it today and tonight.
Boom.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
guys,
really, really
I really
good.
enjoyed this, like loads.
Yeah, really good.
It was great. It was
And
great.
really eye-opening.
Yeah, I had no idea.
No.
Yeah.
But we'll see you this weekend.
Yalla.
So-
Woo!
Like the next one. Good. Howls over Baz. I'm Jacob Costas.
I'm Rico Savage.
I'm Eddie Millis.
And we are out.